Hello, I hope your day went well. Good evening. So, I decided to make a quick video to share my story because a lot of people they've been asking me how I was able to build a house, how much it cost, the process, and so on and so forth, how I was able to save for it. So, for me, I did it. It was all God that planned everything well for me. And at the same time, being dedicated, you have to be willing and, to say no and stick to your plan, you know? So that was what happened for me, how it happened for me. So first, I started off by looking at my budget because I knew I wanted to buy a house. But the biggest problem that I had was saving for down payment. That was the biggest problem, you know? So I was like, okay, so I dug out my old budget on Excel and I was like, okay, I updated it. I was like, okay, this is how much I make every month. And this is how much my bills are. I kind of put everything all together. And after that, this is how much I have left. And I was like, okay, what do I need to cut off in order to save a lot of money every month? So the only thing that would make a big impact on my budget was to cut off my rent and also pay off my credit card. So I said the first thing I'm gonna do is pay off the credit cards because it's amazing how many of us don't even know how much that we're paying, on interest on those credit cards. We just swipe, swipe, swipe. So I called my credit card companies. I was like, "Hey, how much is the interest on this?" Thank God I don't have that many credit cards. I only have, one credit card. And so they told me I was paying, I think it was 10%. I said no. And I had like about $6,000 balance on that credit card. So I was like, okay, my lease is up on the 25th of October. Yeah, 25th of October 2017. And I don't want to renew that lease for another year. So I need to get rid of this apartment. And at the same time, I need to get rid of this bill. So as of June, I was like at 6,000 in credit card debt. I cut off a lot of things like, I don't eat out. And thank God I'm not a shopping person. I'm not the kind of person I could care less for brand names. Like me, I shop at Ross. So I don't need to wear my cocoa. I don't care. If somebody gives it to me, hey, I'll take it. But I'm not going to be spending money for, those kind of things. I really don't care whether my purse is brand name or not. I can even wear plastic bag as a purse. I don't care, you know? So I started paying my credit cards, which was like about $1,000 a month. So before October, I was able to pay it off. So I'm like, the less the bill that I have, the more I'm gonna save every month. And while I was doing that, I cleaned up my credit. So I ran my credit and anything that my credit was like about seven something that time. So I called, anything that I don't know what it is. Like, for example, some inquiries that I'm like, I don't even know what this is. I called the credit bureau company. I was like, I disputed some of those things there. I was like, I don't even know who this is. So they deleted a lot of those stuff off my credit. And on top of that, they put what is it, an alert. If it's all free, you don't pay for anything. I know some people they charge you to do all those kind of things. Guess what? You don't need to pay for any of those kind of services. You can actually do it yourself. It's pretty easy and it's free. So they put an alert for 7 years free that nobody can open an account under my name without me being contacted first. Like even if I want to open, what is it? Get an electricity, utility, anything, they have to call me first. And I have to call this line to authorize it that yes, it is me, open the account or something like that, which is awesome. So after that, they cleaned up my credit. My credit score went up to like about 820, which was, awesome. So after that, I was looking for a place. The next thing was, where can I stay to save money? I gave away all my furniture. The only thing I didn't give away was my bedroom set because I've had it for like maybe a year, like 2 years. And there's no way I'm giving away my bedroom set. I love that bedroom set, especially my mattress. Yeah. So I put it in the storage, but I give out everything, my, dining table, couch, plates, forks, everything. I just give out everything. So I was like, okay, I need to find someone that is clean because my biggest problem is clean environment. Someone that is clean that I can get along with, that makes me feel at home, not anybody that can live with. There are some people that I asked if I can stay with them. They said no, they don't want anybody staying with them, which is okay. I wasn't offended because it's not everybody that you can stay with. It's not everybody that you can welcome in your home either. So I was like, okay. At last minute, I was talking to my friend Antonia. I was like, I really want to get a house, but I'm looking for someone that, I can rent a room from, that I'm going to be paying the person like maybe $500, including all utilities. I was like, do you know anybody? She was like, oh, I can stay with her and her family. So Antonia is married with, two boys, amazing boys. So I was like, are you sure? She was like, yeah, you do these kind of things for people all the time. Why can't I do it for you? She was like, I don't even need to charge. I said to her, my conscience will not be clear. Me working and staying in your house and not paying anything. She was like, okay, how much do you want to pay? I said, what about if I give you $500 a month with all utilities included? Would that be okay? She said, girl, anything that you give me is fine. So I moved in with her. And I kept on praying about it. I'm asking God to make everything perfect, everything to work out perfectly well. The first miracle that God did in my life was like getting me a job, because I've been praying for divine connection to get a new job so that way I can have more to save. And I gave myself deadline. I said to I even changed my password at work. I said, God, I need a job by April 30th, 2017. And my last day at my old job was April 30th, 2017. I got a new job. It was more pay and it was closer to home. So everything kind of worked out in it, really, really well. So I started living with Antonia, the best decision I've ever made. It was just so amazing how she welcomed me into her home. Her husband, the kids, they were very supportive. Like, I found a sister in her and a big brother in her husband, and the kids are like, oh my gosh, I love those kids. They're like the best kids, well behaved, respectful, and all that stuff. Like, it was fun living with her. And she made everything so easy. I didn't even feel like I was living with somebody. I felt like I was part of the family. And, I contributed, towards the house, like food, and she contributed towards food. Like, we were acting like sisters. Like, let's say for example, they go out for dinner, her husband and the kids, and I'm not home. They will call me, oh, we're out for dinner, and what do you want us to order for you or something. So they welcomed me into their home, and I'm forever appreciative of that. I really, really, like, I don't even know what to, how to thank her, because they made the whole process, you know, easy for me. So after that, I settled in and everything was working out. My job was even closer. Like, it takes me like about 15 minutes to get to work, which is perfect. Then the next step was, should I buy or should I build? And then I decided to build because first, there's some features that I want in a home, especially my kitchen. And I love the contemporary look, the white, gray, silver kind of look. I don't know. There's just something that some things that I would like to have in my first home. And then at the same time, I decided to build, because building, not only do I get the option to pick the things that I want, like even the lighting, the color of the bricks, the lot that I want to build in, build on, like where I want my switches to be, the counter, you know, the floor, like I have the right, I make those decisions in terms of what I want. So, and then the second reason why I decided to build was that it gives me time to save. So I'll look around, I started researching builders. And as I go to work, maybe I'm going to work, I see a new neighborhood that they build, and I'm like, oh, okay, let me check out this builder. Like I checked out plantation homes and all that stuff. I didn't like the model homes. So, and I was driving down, and then all of a sudden I saw, my builder, Taylor Morrison. I was like, let me check out their model homes. I checked out their model homes and I fell in love with the model home Jasmine. I was like, oh my gosh, this is my home. Then I met up with the salesperson and they ran my credits, and I was what is it, pre-approved, yeah. So everything came out well, and we signed a contract, and she said that I have to pay $5,000 earnest fee, and then if I'm gonna do any upgrades, I have to pay 30% of that upgrade upfront. So, I was able to pay the earnest money. I had that money in my account already, so I paid the earnest money, and then I paid for what is it, the 30% for the upgrades that I wanted to do, and of the 30% of the total cost of the upgrade. And then I was able to buy the lot, the side. I picked the side of the lot that I wanted to build in, and we signed the contract back December 20th, and I paid whatever I had to pay at that moment, and I started saving, like I was being aggressive with my savings. Like I cut off everything. The only thing I had to pay was just my cell phone bills, the rent of $500 a month, and then what was it? My student loans. Oh, what else was I paying? I don't remember. But I made sure that everything I was paying at the end of the month, like about, I would say like about 1,500, or something like that. So I was able to save thousands of dollars a month. And then tax return came. I did not spend a dime from that tax return. I put it in the savings account immediately. And like saving, like I had to cut off a lot of things, like going out. I had to cut it off because it's like you're constantly going, oh, and then eating out, you have to cut it off. Like people will invite you to all these expensive places. One thing about saving is that people need to understand that just because you're saving, that doesn't mean that you can have a life. Like, for example, I was able to go to Jamaica, but you have to prioritize things. Like before I buy things, I ask myself, do I need this? No, I don't need it. I'll survive without it. I'm okay with it. And thank God I'm not the kind of person, like I said, I could care less for brand names. I don't even mind walking around with plastic bag as my purse. Like I really don't care. I shop at Ross, so I really don't care whether I wear my Couture or I don't know all these brand names. I don't care. And I'm not a shopping person. So as a result, I'm the kind of person, I go to the mall like maybe 5 times a year or 4 times a year. Like I don't even know how the mall looks. I don't go into the mall, and I don't shop online. So I try to buy things when I need it. When people invite me to things and I look at the budget and I'm like, no, it's out of my budget. I'm like, no, I cannot go. I'm broke. So when people even ask you for money, I'm like, I have nothing, nothing. Like I sing it for them, like the Whitney Houston song, I have nothing. Like, no, I don't. So I was the brokest person ever, but my account was not. But you have to be strict. You have to say no. Because all this outing, movies, dinner this, happy hour this, it costs money. And I'm like, why should I go to a happy hour and I'm paying like $8 a drink or whatever, or go to dinner for $8 a drink? I can use that $8 and buy a bottle of, good wine and drink it at home from, Walmart. No. So that helped me a lot. Then after that, I started, they started construction on February 15th. And just like that, I met the construction team. I went to the design studio. First, went to the design studio. I picked all the things that I wanted, removed the things that I didn't want, and construction started. After I picked it, we signed the contract. Everything was sealed, and then they had to run my credit again to make sure that everything is okay, that I can afford it, the monthly payment, estimated monthly payments. Once everything, the underwriter cleared me and they started construction. So they basically they're giving you the loan under the condition that you cannot go in any further debt, you cannot charge anything on your credit cards. And thank God my credit card balance now is zero, so I only use my credit cards just to get some points. I use it to buy gas. I come home, I pay it off right away. So, because even if those people, they don't play, if you are closing, because I've seen some people that lost their house over that kind of stuff. Even if it's $5 extra that you put on your card, or you went into more debt by $5, you're not closing. They are going to stop you or delay you. So I made sure I maintained the same credit score, the same credits, or debt that I was in, my debt to income ratio, to make sure that it's low as possible. So, so everything was going perfectly well. And then the closing, and I was able to close June 30th. By May, they were already done with construction and all this stuff. And one thing I love about building is that building from scratch compared to buying is that you're involved in every step of the process. So if anything happens, they call you, oh, where do you want us to put this? Or, so it's kind of, I love the fact that I was involved in making decisions in terms of how I wanted things. And I paid attention to make sure that they get all the details of everything that I wanted, all the upgrades that I did. And God was just amazing and gave me an amazing construction worker. Like, he's so experienced. He's Jamaican, very experienced in the industry. He has been doing this for like 30 years, and he used to be an inspector. So that's why when I called an independent inspector, he was like, whoever your construction manager is, he did a great job. Because compared to other compared to the other, what do you call it, the other buildings that he did inspection on, mine was really, really good. He just found minor stuff that was fixable right away. He was like, he did a great job. I was like, that's God. He planned everything perfectly well. So I closed, and then I was able to buy furniture. I was able to save enough to put for down payment, and also to furnish the home without putting anything on a credit card. So that was the most exciting thing, except my upstairs. I have 2 rooms upstairs that I haven't done anything on. But then downstairs is fully furnished. My bedroom, the bedroom downstairs, the kitchen, dining table, everything is all done, completely done. And my happiness is that I was able to do it without going into further debt. Like, when people, my close friends, when they come in here, they're like, oh my gosh, when did you move in? Like, it seems like you moved in, like you've lived here for like a year, because I've put everything away. Everything looks furnished. And they're like, oh, how much do you pay? I'm like, no, everything was done cash. So right now I feel broke, which I am broke, but at the same time, I'm not sad about it, because I can see where my money went to. And it's just amazing how, and I've been so humbled in the whole process to get amazing friends that have been so supportive. They've been so supportive throughout the whole time. Of course, I've met some people that they don't even hide their victimization. I've met some people like, they're so negative. Why are you building a house? You don't even have a husband. Shouldn't you focus on finding a husband first? Oh, what man will marry you after building a house? The men don't like, strong women like you, because you're too intimidating. They feel like you don't need them. I don't want to hear that. My family supported me, and I have friends that supported me. As long as when I told my mom, she was very excited for me. She didn't come and start saying, "Oh, your husband, this." My mom is not that kind of person. As long as we're happy, she supports us in everything we do. My parents, my dad, my siblings, they were very supportive, and I'm like, that's all I needed. Everybody else would be okay. So it's all about dedicating to yourself and organizing your finances, knowing what you want, working towards it. And anybody can do it. If I was able to do it, you can be able to do it. But you have to be very disciplined when it comes to money. Your finances has to be well organized, because those lenders, they do not play. They will find anything to disqualify you at any moment. So once you sign that contract, the biggest problem people have is that they will sign a contract. They're like, "Oh, I've been approved and all that stuff. I'm going to get the house." They run your credit a week or 2 weeks, no, a week or a few days before your closing. If anything changes, you don't get that house. So some people, they sign contracts, the next thing you know it, they're out there shopping. They start buying new car, they start buying new furniture, and they put in all these things on credit. No, that would disqualify you in a second. You're not going to close on your house. So you have to be on the same shape you were when you signed that contract. You have to be in the same shape by the time you close. So, but it's just so funny how, sometimes people look at you, some people might think that, they label you, think that you're prideful, you're too arrogant, or you're this, or because you just bought a house, you think you're better than everybody, or, all this negativity. But then, like I said to myself, I'm like, sometimes people are always quick to judge or have something negative to say, because they don't even know what I sacrificed to get to where I am, the kind of financial decisions I did. When you were busy rocking your Michael Kors purse, I don't know any other designer, sorry, of Versace, whatever, then I don't know all these designers. Me, I was wearing my Ross, my Abba made Michael Kors Ross. I didn't complain. But then all of a sudden you see a house, and then you're like, oh, your tongues are wagging, negativity are coming in. You don't know what I sacrificed for me to get to where I am. But anyway, that's my story. So that was how I was able to save money to get a house and furnished it all without going into further debt, except the mortgage debt that I just went into. But at least I'm paying rent, and I feel comfortable that, it's an investment. It's not something that depreciates. So, like compared to like buying a brand new car. So if I decide to sell the house, I'm getting my money back, and so on and so forth. So I hope my story helped you. And I will encourage anybody that would love to follow this path to purchase their first home. It's exciting. I love my new home. You know, I would do it over again if I get the opportunity to do it. So I wish you best of luck if you want to do the same, and I hope to hear great stories, because a lot of people, they've been saying that I motivated them, that they want the same thing, and I'm very happy for you. I'm here to support you if you need help, not financial support, because me, I need financial support, and I'm like, money no day, I'm broke. But anything, if you have any question, feel free to ask me. I'll answer as much as I can. Sorry, I was trying not to make it a long video, but my story is too long. So sorry, and I hope I didn't bore you. But anyway, take care. Bye.